welcome back to another video. This week we're continuing with the renovation of our microcement bathroom and finishing everything off with the last fixtures and fittings. We've been working on this project for a couple of weeks now and we can't wait to get it finished so that we can have a shower. So we hope you enjoy watching us finish off this space. Leave us a comment below and let us know what you think.
The biggest problem we've got is getting the tap with the correct distances, but also level or vertical. We were doing it with the old ones, and when we did the first adjustment it worked fine. There was no leaks, but as we've had to take this tap on and off to plaster or to sand or to do anything around it, basically the Teflon wore thin and started leaking, so we've put the new ones on and we're having the same issue. So we're putting the Teflon on, tidying up, but then it's not level, so then we're having to adjust to make it level. But then you've fiddled with it too many times and the Teflon's worn thin. So I hate plumbing.
Now that that's all the sanding done, we can get on with doing the final sealant.
Gracias, buenos días.
¿Quieres dar 50 o...? They've got sweet potatoes.
So we picked up some basil plants that we want to put in between the tomatoes. We've heard that it's good to companion plant them and put them next to each other, so we're going to put these next to the tomatoes that we've already got in these beds. We have 8 basil and 6 tomatoes, but we have actually bought some more tomatoes as well. We bought some cherries, so yeah, we'll just divide them between them as best we can. And we're not too bothered about putting them quite close to the tomatoes because the tomatoes are going to grow tall, and then the basil can stay a bit kind of shorter, and will also help shade the ground a little bit, so we'll plant those together. And then we've got the same idea with some strawberries, so we're going to plant those underneath the beans. We've only got dwarf beans, so they're not going to go really tall, but the same kind of idea goes, put something that's a bit taller with something that's a bit shorter, so strawberries will go next to those. And we've also got some peppers which we can do in between those as well. So these are long Italian peppers. You can pick them either green or wait till they go red, and these grow a little bit taller than the dwarf beans. The pepper plants are reasonably tall, so we'll put those at the kind of slightly higher height between all those things. What did we get? Watermelon, melon, cherry tomatoes. Where do you want to put those?
I thought you said you wanted the melons under the trees.
Oh yeah. And
cherries you can just stick in here somewhere.
Yeah, just in between these.
Yep. And then it looks like we've also bought some beans, but neither of us can remember what we've bought. So we'll plant them and we'll see. Because
manjettas.
Manjettas, yeah, that's true.
They're like little white beans that you can put into like stews and casseroles and things.
I assume we can eat them fresh as well.
That's why I'm not sure if it's the best place for sweet potatoes.
Best ground we've got. Been dug over twice and had planted it.
Yeah.
Together with hearts intertwined, there's nothing quite like it. There's love enough to go around, and space. Breathe it in and slowly breathe it out. There's a place just for us here in the gold dust. This freedom that comes with the calm helps us belong. 3,000 miles left behind, and still we run. It's so beautiful if we fly, with our arms out wide. There's love enough to go around, and space. Breathe it in and slowly breathe it out. There's a place just for us here in the gold dust.
Should I take these little flowers off this one so that it doesn't grow the tomatoes yet?
So these plants have been in nearly a week now, I think, and they're looking nice and perky, which is good. Standing up and looking very green, which is what you want to see. So this method's working really well for us. And then on this side, we're thinking to plant sweet potatoes. We're doing a slightly different method, even though this one is working so well, mainly because of a lack of straw. It's going to be very similar though, just less straw. So I've put cardboard down, soaked it, I turned the soil underneath, and then I'm going to put this straw back on top and give that a good soaking again, and then we'll punch holes through the cardboard and plant the sweet potatoes that are just in the truck over there. So that's the bed prepped. So there's the wet cardboard, compost on top, straw on top of that, and then everything's had a good dose of water on each layer. So that's now nice wet straw. So these are the sweet potato slips we got. They didn't have the California variety, which is like your standard brown skin, orange inside. These are like red skin, red inside. But we'll try them. Sweet potatoes are always nice. So. And there's supposed to be some decent ground cover as well, so if they can stay alive. So let's have a go.
On the road, I've been away for far too long, but now I'm on my way back home. I hear the west winds calling out my name. They telling me to head your way, down your road and past your gates. Keep your eyes on the horizon. I was looking to belong when I'd already found my home. Won't be long, I'm there before the setting sun, for you to fall into my...
We will be adding some irrigation to this new bed, but we've not got time to put that in today. So we're just making sure that everything has a good water before we come up and do that. We'll just add in another T from this drip irrigation that's already here and run some lines down. A change of plan with the strawberries. We've decided that because these will fruit for many years, we want to put them in somewhere that we're not going to really disturb them. So when we come to do these beds next year, we might move things around and we might disturb these ones. So we're actually going to put these underneath the grapes that we've planted instead. And hopefully they'll do okay up there. They'll also be on irrigation up there too, so seems like a better option. We managed to get quite a lot done this morning, but now we've got to go and pick up Isabel from nursery, and then I've got a few things that I need to do this afternoon in town. So we'll come back up this afternoon and see if we can get a few more bits done. We've got the strawberries, the cucumbers and the melons still to go in. But yeah, things are starting to look really good, and it's so nice to finally have some things planted on the land after all this time. You cheeky wee. You in that leaf? We're back up this evening just to get on with the strawberries and hopefully do the melons and cucumbers as well that we've still got to get in. We've been lucky, we've got a bit of sunshine come back. It was raining earlier, so we'll see if we can get them all done before we go home.
Hummingbird, I hear you calling, beckoning me in so sweetly. Just slow down, let's take this lightly. Teach me how you fly so free.
So I've just picked off all of the fruits and flowers that were forming on the strawberries, just because right now we don't want them to flower really, although we'd love strawberries. We just want them to put down roots. So I picked off all of those, and I don't know if that means we'll get any this year or not, but at least it means that these ones they'll establish better. I think with the mongetta beans, the white beans, we can do a bean and a melon together underneath the trees, because one will fix nitrogen and then the other one will give the ground cover. So hopefully they'll be beneficial to the trees as they're establishing their roots through the summer. Although these all actually have two growing in them, so I don't know whether it's worthwhile separating them and putting one per...
Oh no, I just put the whole plug in, so it's...
Yeah.
Hummingbird, your love is lovely. In the stillness you are moving. One with the wind's melody. Teach me how you fly so free.
All the melons have got like 3 or 4 in them, so see how they do.
Hopefully one of them survives. Teach me how you fly so free. So Paco's sulking at the moment because he's tied up. So normally he gets free rein on the land, but in the last 3 weeks he's had 2 broken nails on his feet, so he's not been able to run around for that. And then basically as soon as the first one was healed and he could be off again, he broke another in 2 days. And then just as that one healed, he's then developed a limp on his back leg. So he went to the vet, and apparently he's pulled a muscle or a tendon on his back thigh. So now he's on leash for the next week and a bit, I think 10 days. So he's on some anti-inflammatories, but that's why he's on leash. He's not been naughty, it's for his own good.
That's us done for this evening. That's another 18 plants in. We'll come back up to do the irrigation for them, and sort out the watering for the ones that we planted up by the trees. And we'll kind of mulch everything, at least with wood chips until we get more hay, or straw. Actually, it's not hay, it's straw. Now we're just heading back home. It's bedtime for Isabel, so we'll take her down, put her to bed, and probably enjoy a glass of wine on the sofa this evening, because I think that was a good job done.
This is the sealant product that we're using for the walls. It's actually designed to put onto concrete floors, so it should be good enough to make these nice and waterproof, and just stop any of the water from permeating into the material itself. We've done 3 coats on all of the walls, and then around the bath here has all had 4 coats, and we're just going to keep an eye on it. We've done a water test in the corner, everything seems to be fine, but we may end up giving this bath area another 1 or 2 coats maybe, just to make sure that it's really kind of protected against the water, because this is where there's going to be the most water sitting on the surface, where everything else is just going to be kind of humidity. After applying several coats of the sealer, it's now time to start working on adding all of the fixtures and fittings to the bathroom. Our old extractor fan used to sound like an aeroplane taking off, so we've decided that we're going to replace it with one that has a lower decibels so that it's a bit quieter. It was a pretty simple switch out from one to the other, and it's made a massive difference. We're just going to let that silicone dry for a couple of minutes and let it set just a little so that we can pull off the tape and then leave it to dry fully. So that's the bathroom renovation, almost finished, and we are so happy with how it's looking. We hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.